Last night in his interview, Donald Trump made clear that, man, he is just begging for impeachment proceedings. But this morning, Nancy Pelosi making clear that while she doesn't like what he's been saying and doing, she's not necessarily going to actually pursue getting him out of office, despite growing interest both amongst her, her colleagues in the House and amongst the American people at large. But there are efforts to try to push the Democratic Party in that direction. And we're joined now by an organizer for By the People, Alexandra Flores-Quilty, to talk about that. Alexandra, welcome to the Damage Report.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you on. So you've got a June 15th National Day of Action. You're partnering with Move On. Tell us about what's gonna happen.
Yes, this Saturday, June 15th, we are scheduled to have over 140 demonstrations and events around the country. Americans are coming together in our local communities to demand that our elected representatives take action and hold Donald Trump accountable. He has committed numerous impeachable offenses, and we are demanding that Congress begin impeachment proceedings.
So you're an activist working on this effort, and so I want to get your opinion. This is a question that I've been asked a lot recently. Like last night, I did an appearance on a show, and they asked me this. When they made that small change yesterday to make it a little bit easier to get court follow-up to subpoenas that are bucked by the Trump administration, they asked me, does this show that the Democrats are seriously moving towards impeachment just in a strategic way? As an activist, what do you think Nancy Pelosi is actually thinking? Is she slow rolling this, or is she not interested fundamentally in pushing for impeachment?
I think that we will continue to see our elected representatives kick the can down the road and try and wait out the clock. They have shown time and again that they are unwilling to take political and moral leadership that is necessary. And it's only going to happen, and we are only going to be able to win on this issue if we, the people, take responsibility. We've seen some political and moral leaderships from certain members of Congress, such as Rashida Tlaib, who announced a resolution to begin impeachment proceedings. We support her and applaud her in her effort, and she's been more recently joined by dozens of members in the House in this effort. But I think that we will continue to see our party leadership come up with excuses and try and wait out the clock rather than take the action that is not only needed, but it's very clearly spelled out in our Constitution.
So just briefly, before we get into what the event is gonna look like and how people can get involved, a bit of devil's advocate. Some people say, including I believe occasionally Nancy Pelosi, that Donald Trump secretly wants to be impeached, that he thinks that would help him to solidify his base, a base that he already has an approval rating of like 90% with, but apparently it can become a little bit more solid. Do you worry that if this were to be pushed for, that it could backfire and actually help Donald Trump in his effort to get reelected?
I think that every single day that Donald Trump is in office is a dangerous day for our democracy and the American people. People have already died. There are children who are locked in concentration camps and in cages right now. We see him incite racist violence on a regular basis, where people commit hate crimes and quote the president of the United States. Our democratic institutions are under attack and are crumbling, and we cannot continue to wait out the clock and because we're too afraid to take the leadership that's necessary right now. And so I think that these actions require accountability, and accountability looks like impeachment. And I think that, we've already seen what Donald Trump has committed and done when he thought that impeachment is possible. If we continue to hear from members of Congress that they are going to be unwilling to hold him accountable because they're too afraid, what more damage can he do? And quite frankly, this has life and death consequences.
So I just want to stop for just a second to give you some credit there, because you did what I tried to do and what I hope more people will do, where I asked you a question I kind of despise that's based purely on political considerations, and you answered about the substance of what impeachment means and what merits it, and what the responsibilities of our elected officials actually are when it comes to impeachment. So thank you for engaging with the actual substance rather than just purely polling concerns. Now, in terms of the event, it's not far off. I mean, we're just a couple of days, I believe. I'm notoriously bad at saying what the date is, but it's close. So if people would like to get involved with this, what should they do?
Yeah, if you go to impeach.org, there, like I said, are 140 events happening around the country. This is just the beginning, but like I said before, I think that we will continue to see our representatives abdicate their responsibility unless we force them to take action. So that's what Saturday is about, is us coming together, gathering in our communities with our family, our friends, our neighbors, And we're going to be talking about what impeachment is, how this is a tool for us, the American people, and really laying out the case and pathway towards impeachment and removal of Donald Trump. So you can find an event in your area at impeach.org, and we'll be announcing more things to come.
Alexandra Flores-Quilty of By the People, thank you for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching this clip from The Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.